Hey, what is up, guys? My name is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and thank you guys so much for checking out my channel. Now, in this video, I know I mentioned Alignable last time, and I want to go through just some basic steps, what I've found useful on the platform. So we're going to go hop over into my computer, and I'm going to give you guys the tutorial on how to set it up, how to use it, and ultimately what I find best to use. So wait till the end. There is a ton of kind of secret sauce, things that I've realized that even though I'm not making sales, I'm still getting benefit out of it. So I want to share that with you guys. I'm going to be sharing a bunch of tidbits along the way and ultimately how to set up your profile to use it for 2020, because 2020 is the era of digital, and that is why it's so important. So we're going to hop into my computer right now, and you guys will get a ton of information on that. We'll see you over there. Alrighty, guys, we are in my computer now. In this video tutorial, I'm going to teach you guys some quick setup, how to set up your profile, and kind of a little overview of Alignable. So that's what we're covering in this video. I'm going to walk you guys through it. It's pretty simple to set up. This is hands down the easiest platform to set up that I've ever used. So right off the bat, when you sign up, you're going to have your profile, and Alignable does a really good job at trying to make you go premium. I'm going to cover all that pricing, all that kind of information in this video as well, so stick with me. This might be a little bit longer of a video just because there's a lot to cover in here. And once again, this is an overview and how to set up your profile. As you spend more time on the platform and do different things, that is where you can thrive. Now, I will give you guys a heads up. This is my second account. I've deleted my first account because my first account was for my old company, and now I have this account. So I just want to start completely fresh a couple months ago, and that's kind of where I've been. You guys have already heard my opinion on this whole thing, and I'll probably give some more of my opinions along the way. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So if you go up to my business, you'll see my business. You can go to my membership, invite business, account settings, anything like that. I'm not going to go over most of this kind of stuff because it's pretty basic. But you can see your profile, your activity, your recommendations, events and services, my membership, my account, tools, and saved. So the only thing I want to bring in here is tools, so logos, show that you're a trusted member of Alignable. If it's something that you guys want, and this is another way to copy and paste it, because their stuff isn't so popular, they do give you that option. You have my accounts, so if you have more than one account, that's a great place to do it. Anything that you've saved. So I haven't saved anything, but there are people that save kind of some stuff. This is your billing. This is how billing works if you choose to sign up for it. So you have your market area, which is about 10 miles away. You'll be able to send a connection request to businesses in this area. So right off the bat, you have Bayport, which is my local town. Bayport, which is 30-mile radius of Bayport, which is a very large area, especially because in New York, everything's jam-packed. And then you have U.S. and Canada. How many members in each area? They estimate 5,000, 50,000, and 5 million businesses. New connections per month, 15, 40, and 105. This is one thing that drives me nuts is when you see the who visited you page. When you see who's visited you, you can't actually see it, and I'll show you guys what I mean, but everything's blurred out, where on LinkedIn, the images aren't so blurred out, or they give you a couple, so that way you kind of have an idea of who's visiting your stuff. And then be found with search keywords, so you can come up for 2 and 6 keywords. Ultimately, obviously, they're trying to push you to the monthly, and if you pay annually, this is what your rate looks like. It's 17% cheaper, and that's that. So next, we're going to go through events and services. So this is events and services going on. Now, I've posted some things. This is all your stuff that you could post, not everybody's stuff. You can add promotions, which is pretty cool. So if you do have something going on, you can add a major promotion to it for an additional 30, 40, 50 bucks. Ultimately, whatever you want to spend. Then you have any recommendations if you've recommended or you have gotten recommended. Like I said, I don't spend too much time on this platform, so I haven't gotten recommended. I don't even think I've done business with anybody that I know on here that could give me a recommendation. And then you have your activity. So this is the part that drives me nuts. They want you to unlock it, right? They want you to go to regional or national, the $30 or $90 a month, which in my opinion drives me nuts, but it is what it is. And then you have, that's activity. And then you have your profile. So your profile is pretty basic. You can go in here. You can edit your profile. It'll give you all of this information. And that's literally like 90% of what you got to do. Where you're located, yes, that is my office address. Your ideal customers, who you want to work with, your about us. So, hey, I'm Harrison. I'm the founder of Barron Media Group. I pulled this from LinkedIn. I didn't know exactly what I should put here, and I really like what I've done with my LinkedIn. I get leads from there all the time, so I knew it worked. and then you have your events and promotions. And that's really your profile. It is literally that easy to set up. It's way less criteria than LinkedIn. And because of that, it takes way less time and all that kind of stuff. Now you can edit your Facebook page, visit website. And when you look at other people's stuff, they have all of these as well. So you can go visit their stuff. And then you have your team, so you could add users if there are multiple people, and then who invited you, so that way it gives credit to that person. Now I'm going to go through the main tabs on the top of the site now that you kind of have an idea of how to set up your profile. I kid you not, it is literally that easy to set up. When I set up my LinkedIn, it took me probably 5 minutes. And when I originally set it up, I was so concerned that I set it up wrong. I went and probably watched a solid hour of other people's YouTube videos to make sure I didn't miss anything. And to answer your questions, no, I did not miss anything. It is literally that easy to set up. So let's start with your home. So this is where you're going to find a bunch of different things. I just connected with my buddy Edward Fleece over here, but ultimately what they want you to do is they want you to spend money. They do a really, really good job at promoting you or pushing you to spend money with them. Up here, this is not the first thing I've seen impacted by coronavirus. There's constantly new updates, things like that going on locally. Right now, coronavirus is obviously the topic of the world. So because of that, they just put coronavirus up here. Then you have your company profiles, how many people have visited your profiles in your profile in the last 90 days. Like I said, I don't use this all that much. I use LinkedIn way more, but this is super important that I cover this kind of stuff, because if you are a local business and you're looking to make sales and connect with local people, this is absolutely, without a doubt, the best platform. On LinkedIn, you can only go to the greater New York area, and that's it. You can't break it down any further. So this really allows you to get super hyper local. Bayport area, 1,232 businesses, US and Canada, 5 million businesses, right? If you want to go in here, you can start looking for people to connect with. It will limit your number of connections, so don't think like, hey, why can I only connect with a certain amount of people? It will, at some point, stop you from connecting with everybody. Now I'm going to jump back in my community in a little bit. I just want to go through the homepage, but ultimately this is your feed, right? It's going to recommend mutual connections, things like that, which I do kind of like because Facebook does do this. Check it out, the latest Bayport newsletter, reaching 132 businesses, new businesses in the area if anybody's started anything, and then picks from National Advice Forum. Pretty self-explanatory. Everybody's stuff is going to look a little different because they know what you probably want to see versus what you don't want to see. Then you have get the word out, add a promotion. So if you want to add a promotion for something, they are constantly looking for you to spend more money. So if I took this and wanted to promote, I think that thing, that was a blog post, you can choose who you want to hit, how many people it is. So for example, in here, if I want to do Bayport, if I want to do Sayville, it does go up at a certain point with how many people it is. Add another newsletter, right? So you could choose to blast this out if you're in the local community. You could get pretty aggressive with it to add more and more and more people. Be careful, it does say upgrade to LinkedIn Premium to save 50% off, right? That's how they kind of get you, unfortunately. But that's how they do it. It works from what I've seen. I just don't spend that much time on here. But that's how that whole series goes. Then you have My Network. You have prospects, suggested, nearby, new members. I don't really need to go too much into this, but obviously suggested means people that it thinks you might want to connect with. Nearby is people in your town, more than likely. Bayport, it might have somebody in a local town, Sayville, East Patchogue, right, within 5 minutes. New members to the platform. They want to try to get those people as connected as possible so that way they spend more time on the platform. And then people I know, if you upload or connect your email, it'll recommend people to you. Now, I know it does say 12 connections in here. This is my second account, not my first account. But you can request people or people that requested you connections if there's anybody that you want to message or talk to or anything like that. This is the spot to do it. I've ran into more than one situation where I've messaged somebody and didn't get a response. Take that with a grain of salt. And then Help My Network. This is pretty cool. So if you want to refer somebody, if you want to do anything like that, this is the spot to do it, where you can, like, refer, talk to people, things like that. My Network's activity, so things like that. Then you have My Community. This is pretty cool. You have a directory of who's in your community. You have a calendar of different events going on. The one thing I have realized is I posted this the other day. If these are the two new things, and I'm still speculating on this, if these are the two new things, it doesn't get much engagement, right? One like, one share, probably ask the person. But even if you look at the other things, right? No likes, no referrals, anything like that. For what reason, I'm not 100% sure just yet. Services, right? Anything going on in Bayport that you might want to know about, 60-minute massage therapy, things like that. Local discussions, right? This is cool. I have spoken on a handful of these local discussions. Sadly enough, I have gotten 0 responses on any of them, and I'm usually the only one commenting on them, just as a FYI. Advice, this is probably the coolest area, so what form of advertising has worked for you and given you the best return? If you click on that, you can go in, you could comment, give your feedback on it, referrals on January 4th. It's been 2 years, right? It's ultimately how to help other people. So if that's what you're into, then you could go on here and comment on a million things asked by, answered by, right? Questions from topics you follow. My feed, this is probably the closest thing you have to a news feed, but once again, it is in the advice section, so it's all answers to advice stuff. My advice, what you've talked to people about and things like that, brand rating and reviews. If you're looking for different things in that regard, you can rate, review, anything like that that would be relevant for a business. Then you have the Alignable blog. So this blog, from what I understand, is pulled from the whole country. It is not relative to a certain geographic location. Don't think that, just understand that if somebody from California writes a really good blog, you may very well see it in here. Coronavirus Resource Center, this is pretty cool. I do like this. If you're looking for help or anything like that, it is a bunch of people looking to help and make sure that you can get through the coronavirus. And that's the advice section. Like I said, I don't have that many messages in here. I've messaged a couple people. I haven't gotten responses on most of them, or they just kind of fall off. It is what it is. I have way better success on LinkedIn. And then last but not least, your notifications. Things that are going on that they think that you want to know about. Like I said, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm making money on here. I'm not, I haven't really spent a lot of time on here. I just understand the platform. I understand how platforms work. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I do know people that have closed business on here. So don't think, should you spend time on here? I do have a video that says, in that blog, if you're in B2B and you can sell anywhere in the country, LinkedIn is absolutely the best resource for you. If you're more local focused than things like that, then Alignable is probably the better option for you. I'm not going to go too more in depth on that. I do have a video on that, so go check that out. But other than that, this is kind of a little roundup, a little, video that talks about Alignable, how it can impact you, and things to be aware of. I hope this video helps. I'll see you guys in the next part. Alrighty, guys. I hope that was super, super helpful. It's kind of strange. It's a weird platform. There's a lot of limitations on it, but there is some really, really good stuff on there. So it's not necessarily for me where I'm going to find a ton of business, but for you, especially if you're a local business looking to grow and looking for sales and things like that, it could be really, really powerful just because it's so hyper-local focused, which is really, really cool. So I do love it for that reason. I hope you guys found value in this video. If you guys did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little bell so you never miss an opportunity to make more money and grow your business. I hope this video was helpful. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.